All right, everybody, we should be live. Today is July 27th, a Monday, July 27th. And we're going to talk about the upcoming treasure hunt. Darn it. Vegas Die. Release date September 15th. How you doing, Kpro?
I'm good. We have so much to talk about. We have rides to talk about all through the amusement park, but today we are going to focus on Vegas Die, the new and improved. It was open once, it's shut down, it's new and improved. Can I just tell you? Super secret. That's the author right there. Super secret information. Give yeah, I won't tease it because I know people hate that. I know. Okay. And so you can hit the thumbs up button. If you hate when I tease, you can do the thumbs down button. It's okay. Either one, we monetize too, so we appreciate you. And then super chat's on if you want to ask any question. Because yes, this has been a week of meeting up with searchers. And those of you that are on Facebook saw that I ran into a little someone. Did you guys see?
Who was that you ran into?
Let's see. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. So let me give you two pictures. Actually, probably not that one. Who is that? Who is that?
That would be Miss Cynthia Meacham with a big margarita. Shocking.
Okay. And then did I social distance? No.
Kind of.
I did not.
Not on the mouth. Anyway.
I did not.
Hashtag not on the mouth. Okay. So that's Cynthia. I hope to see Cynthia soon. We also met somebody else yesterday. Who was that?
Yesterday.
Mr. Stephen Grogan. We had
yes, we did. Okay. I thought you were talking about this picture. Do you see? That's me in my shield.
And
there's Mike.
And that's Sam from
that's
World
Sam.
And everybody.
Yeah.
In Vegas. We had to go down and check it out. I've played poker with the plastic partitions. I just had to say I was able to do that.
And we've also played
about COVID-19. We're everywhere. Okay. We did meet with the author of drumroll Vegas Die, Mr.
Hi. Here we go. And we got the secret documents, and we have.
So what Stephen did, and we're going to go over the treasure hunt for anybody who's new is like, what's Vegas Die? We don't even know what's going on. Because the last time we did a Vegas Die video was like 6 weeks ago.
6 weeks.
How time flies when Forrest
Time is
treasure
flying.
has been found.
You say Wyoming and we all lose our mind. You see what happens.
It got bumped. And the reason it got bumped is because the book is not out yet. So
yeah.
So we had lunch with Stephen yesterday. Give us an update. Vegas Die is treasure hunt, which is going to be here in the Las Vegas Valley. The proxy item is out there somewhere. It is in place. Breaking news, right?
It's there. It's in its spot.
It's out there. The book release date of the book is September 15th. You can take pre-orders now. We will get the book about 2 weeks early. We are going to get the book directly from the author around September 1st. If you want to order the book from us, you can. The details are in the description below. The book is $30. That includes shipping. This is a novel, guys. This is not our normal treasure hunting book where it's thin and there's pictures. It's not a Beacon Star. It's not a Masquerade. This is a novel about mobsters in Las Vegas, and it happens to be a treasure hunt as well. Not kid-friendly. I'll just put that out there right now. The storyline is not kid-friendly. It's about mobsters getting killed in Las Vegas.
And let's go back for a second. Mike likes to tell you the price after shipping, handling, tax, everything. When you go on Barnes & Noble, etc., they'll give you the price before all of that. I keep telling Mike to do it the other way because people are like, oh, it's the same price. It's not. Mike says it wrong. He'll continue to say it wrong. We will make sure that we get a substantial discount. I think we're $24.99 with everything else, shipping, handling, all of that. You get it for the out the door price. So try to compare apples to apples. Nobody has it cheaper than us. We have a wholesale discount. So anyway, I just wanted to make that clear because somebody messaged me and said, you guys are saying discount, but it's not a discount. Right. Because we say it after shipping, handling, tax, Uncle Sam, everybody getting their dollars and cents.
And book is on Barnes & Noble for $34.99. Somebody go to Barnes & Noble right now and look up Vegas Die. It's a different cover, but this is the book, Vegas Die by Stephen Grogan, $34.99. And then you probably have to pay for shipping on Barnes & Noble. You get it from us for $30 even, and that includes the shipping. So that is such an awesome saving. And you get the book about 2 weeks early, or at least a week early, because as soon as we get them, we're going to mail them out to everybody that's pre-ordered one. So, okay, Vegas die.
Wait, Amy Seeks asked a question. How
yeah.
close does the book get us to the item? 50 feet, 100 feet, an exact spot?
I don't know that.
I
That's a
believe
good
it's
question.
okay. If it's anything like the last one, it's going to be an exact spot. But here's the cool part, Amy Seeks. Stephen would like to come on our show, and we are going to ask him a bazillion questions. All of these questions will be available to all of you. So it will be super, super cool. Yes, there is an update on Gallows Harbor and Forest Fen Hunt. I do have a little bit of info there and a few of the other hunts. I do want to talk about that after. We're going to focus on Vegas Die because we bumped them a couple of times. And here's the other cool part. When I'm in town, I will go to various places and go boots on the ground. I may not be here. I'm only visiting. And Mike will as well. Now, we won't go everywhere every day all the time. This is going to take a little while. That's why even though we got the first chapter, the first chapter is not going to help you too much. We wanted to give you guys some information about what are the differences we're going to see and that sort of thing. Mike wanted to go over the last Jack, I do have an update on both of the lawsuits. I will give you that information. One update is from yesterday. The other update's from a couple days ago. We'll get to that. We're talking about Vegas Die. Most exciting. This is one of the people that we gave our rose to. Vegas Die. Okay, go ahead, Mike.
I just wanted to give a shout out to JK Pioneer. Thank you for what you sent for the boys and me and Kpro. It was awesome.
That was JK Pioneer. JK, you're so nice.
The coins and stuff. Yeah. It was
yes.
Really cool. And a shout out to the searcher who sent me this Yellowstone. If you guys can see that Yellowstone coffee mug. And we all know this is where the treasure was, inside Yellowstone.
No, I don't think so, but I have an update on that too.
I hit the wrong button.
AJ's in the room. For those of you that wondered why we might have gone on 30 seconds late, because I didn't get one cookie. I didn't get 2 cookies. Can you even imagine that I got 3 cookies tonight?
What, are you making them easier? Hey, there, I hit the right button. There it was, everybody.
No, actually, no, Sassy was not in the room tonight. Sassy usually takes most of my cookies. So anyway, there you have it.
Yeah, Vegas Die. We're going to get into the ciphers that are in the book. There's only one real cipher that he used. And we're going to, now for those of you who don't understand, some people might still be saying, what are you guys talking about? How do you have the book if it's not out yet, Kpro? This
super secret hints, of course.
This book was a treasure hunt 12 years ago. Here, maybe this will help you guys understand. Check this out real quick.
Check this out.
Maybe you guys will understand why this is a treasure hunt near and dear to me and that I'm going to work on.
Mike's famous.
Well, I am Cowlazars. All right, here we go.
Las Vegas.
What I've done well is not tell very much about anything about the dagger or how deep it's buried or if it's buried at all.
I've been out looking for the dagger for about a year now.
Mike Cowling has read the crime thriller 4 times. He's tried to solve the codes found within the pages of Vegas Die, but so far he hasn't found the hidden treasure.
There's been a lot of different ideas. Maybe a postcard. Some people think maybe it could be a casino chip.
And that is right. This treasure hunt was 12 years ago. It was a treasure hunt for $25,000. I worked on it. It went 3 years. Nobody found it. It was not a postcard. It was not a casino chip. It was a bookmark in the Clark County.
Who was closest, Mike Cowlazars? Who was closest, Cowlazars?
I was closest because I was at the library sitting in my car out front going, how could he put a dagger in the library? I still thought it was a real silver dagger as depicted.
Oh, yeah. Baby cow. Little wee calf of Cowlazars. Yeah, you were a little younger then.
Yeah, a little thinner. And back when I used to dye my beard. But anyway, so yeah, this book is coming back out. He is changing things. He has mixed up all the clues. This one is a treasure hunt for $2,500 plus a percentage of book sales. Plus,
we confirmed that. How much?
I thought 50 cents a book.
Yeah, and last time he sold,
price.
last time he sold 12,000 books, so that could be a pretty penny.
Another $6,000, and that was over the 3 years. So if this thing is not found right away, which like some of the treasure hunts that have been found right away, it's like.
Do you see Master Morpheus? It wasn't solved in 4 days.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I just thought of when I said we don't like it when things are solved. We want everybody to have a chance to ride the ride in the Treasure Hunting Amusement Park before it's closed. You know what I'm saying?
No.
What's really cool though is the proxy item for this treasure hunt Vegas Die is.
Okay, I just have another analogy as you bring that up. I
Mine-
think a couple of those hunts were like speed dating, where you're only allowed to sit down for 20 seconds and then you move to the next. I've never done it, but it's like Master Morpheus was only there 4 days. Darn it.
we
We
get
didn't
to
even
know
get a
you.
date.
You left.
I know. Okay. We'll
This
date
is,
again.
in fact, the proxy item for a Vegas die. This coin, this
There it
Spanish
is.
8 real, pieces of 8. That coin by itself would be awesome to have.
But Mike, can you have the coin? Can you keep the coin rather than turning it in? Did you confirm with Stephen? Because that was the #1 question we got.
Yes, you, the person who finds this coin, gets to keep the Spanish pieces of 8, but you also get the prize fund as well. Whatever it's at that time. Originally, Stephen said, you find this coin, you turn it into me, and I give you the money. But we talked to him. We said the community wants to keep the coin because who doesn't want real shipwreck treasure? This is from 1679, and this is a little certificate of authenticity on who found it and where. And yeah, I mean, it's just an awesome item.
We
I want
twisted
that
his
on
arm.
the treasure hunting bookshelf. So you can keep the coin and you get the money. How awesome is that?
Well, we twisted his arm. We told him this is what the community will want. And that's the really cool part is the one thing you have to remember. And Mike, did you get that picture of him with that famous author?
I did.
Let's show that one.
Oh, yeah, okay. I did get
So
it.
let's remember who Steve Grogan is. Steve Grogan is not a longtime treasure hunter. He is not a treasure hunter. He is an author. Here is a great picture of him from 12 years ago. He sent us a picture. This is going to be a funny coincidence if anyone knows the Forrest Fenn hunt. So why he's bringing that up. So we need to remember yeah, look who that is. That is a little bit younger, Douglas Preston. So he is an author. He's been a longstanding author. He has lots of other books as well. So just remember that that's what Steve's focus is. So he's trying to get to know the community, understand the community. We talked to him a little bit ago about, what do treasure hunters really, care about, think about. He did a great job selling 10, 12,000 books last time. But he just kind of wanted to get the pulse of the community. So we've been able to sit with him a couple times and we correspond with him. And I will tell you, he is absolutely not one hint will come his way that doesn't go to everybody. He's kind of like Randy, though he does correspond and talk to us to say, can you get my message out? He's going to come on the show. He wants to answer questions. He wants information out, but he won't give any hint to one or discussion with one about the hunt at all.
Lisa Smith has a good question. She says, how can I tell the Vegas Die 1.0, the book from 12 years ago, with 1.5? Because this book was reissued. Right. And the way you can tell is at the very back of the book, this is one of the original books. The very back of the book.
Oh, it says Mike Cowlazars is the greatest person ever.
The acknowledgments, and the very back of the book has questmystery.com and info about the treasure hunt. 1.5, the second edition, I guess you could say, or second printing, has got a questers page. It's a shout out to a lot of the questers. I'm in there. A lot of the other ones that worked on it are in there. So if you have an extra page in the back, you have the republished book. I don't know how many are first edition to the second printing, but there were some spelling errors that were corrected, and he added that page. I could go get it off the bookshelf if anybody wanted to see it.
But there wasn't any substantial difference, right?
Not a difference that would lead you to the treasure.
Twice, yeah. Twice.
If anything, we pointed out to him, hey, this guy's name is spelled this way here, but in this chapter, it's missing an I. Is that a hint? And he corrected.
Nice.
Errata. There's things that need to be changed that were not caught when the first book went out. So yeah, that was 12 years ago. The book is coming out again. September 15th is the release date. September 1 is when we should have it. We will mail it to everybody. We're taking pre-orders now. $30 for the book, out the door, mailed to you. PayPal link is down in the description below. I know, Kpro, you say it a different way.
I see.
And the $25,000 was not found, Mojo Man Mike. It ended up being a bookmark in the library. Stephen always says nothing is as it seems. And what he meant was we weren't looking for a dagger like this. We were looking for a bookmark. The bookmark was a picture of that dagger. Nobody found it. The hunt ended. Everybody knew the end date well in advance to know this is when you have to find it. So we're hoping on this one, we will find it.
Oh, we're gonna destroy it. I hope it's done within a month. I don't want it in a week. And he said it's not going to be. I don't know how he knows that, but he's done a hunt before that went, a long time. But it's a long book, so it's also going to take us a little while to read. But you can get it before anyone else on Barnes and Noble or Amazon or anywhere else. We get it beforehand. So.
Yes, Lisa Smith, you have the 1.5. You have the reprint that came out, or the second edition, however you want to word it. So that came out after. Same book, same treasure hunt from 12 years ago, but there were some small things changed, and the Rise of the Questers is the page that was added. Jack says, well, misspellings, that's unprofessional. And then who was it that said, but was it intentional? Because we don't know what's a red herring, what's not a red herring. We don't know what he did on purpose. And I'm going to go over some of the red herrings that were in this book today. But before we get to the book, I think, did you want to go over a couple things, Kpro?
You told me at the end. I can do it either.
Oh,
Either
we can do it
at the
at
end.
the end. All right,
Yeah.
we can definitely do it at the end. So,
well, so let me be clear for those of you, because I've gotten quite a few questions. I did not know Mike, nor did I know this treasure hunt. I didn't participate in this treasure hunt. But there are things that you all have sent me. There is the Wayback Machine that, here's the cool part. There's another treasure hunt that the originator, his name's Forrest Fenn, did not put out the full solve and the solution. Steve Grogan did. So we're going to take the next few weeks and go over the last one, because that'll let you know kind of how he thinks. I'm sure there's some differences and all of that. And so I did not participate in the last one. Do I have this book? Yes. Am I reading it now? Yes. I tried to get Kpro. Kpro and I went through the first chapter together. There was some wording and language that
it's
it wasn't.
not a book for kids.
Yeah, it wasn't harsh language. It's an adult book. There's analogies and things that are made. And he's like, what does that even mean? And I had to explain it. So this isn't a kid's book. And you can see it's not, it's not one chapter. It's quite a few chapters. So
Yeah, it's a long.
yeah.
Yeah, there's Brian P. Congrats, Brian. Don't solve this one in 4 days or I will kill you. Okay. Lori had a awesome question. Lori James says, well, what book was it in? If it was in the library, Cowlazars, what book was it in? Maybe you art professionals, aficionados out there and will know what this is. The book it was in was a book on art, and it was this painting. The Death of Marat, M-A-R-A-T. The Death of Marat by Jacques Louis David. Apparently this is a famous painting. I did never heard of it. I never heard of the author. I didn't know, what this was. It was in a book on art in the Clark County Library. And this page right here, this is how the first treasure hunt worked, everybody.
Oh, I just finished the end of the book. It's really graphic. Yikes.
Yeah, it's an adult book, guys. It's about the mob in Vegas. Think about it. Think of the movie Goodfellas. Think of the movie Casino. It's not, it's not Alice in Wonderland, put it that way. But that's okay. There's room for those books too. This code right here, when solved, this code was the ISBN number. If you plug in those numbers, that was the ISBN number that would lead you right to the correct book in the library. Nobody was able to put that together. And I'm going to, as we do these videos, I'm going to walk you through how we were supposed to figure out which book it was and how we were supposed to figure out it was in the library to begin with, which I did. I had the idea that, could it be in the library? Because the book led me right to the library, but I was working second shift at the time. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm sitting there in my car looking at the library going, how could he put a dagger in there? What's it, under glass, like a statue? It didn't occur to me it could be a bookmark in a book.
Well, so that really took you down to the exact location. You're within a couple inches of,
it took you to the exact
found that book. Yeah.
And what was really cool is if somebody had checked that book out on accident, behind the book on the wall was a thing. It was another copy of the dagger that basically said, contact the author, and you had to have the solution from the book. So he did it the right way. If the book was missing, behind the book on the wall was a copy of the bookmark as well. But if I would have known now if I would have known then what I know now, I definitely would have found it. I'm just a little bit better at treasure hunts nowadays after I became Cowlazars and have a YouTube channel at Kpro and met all of you fine people through the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt. Definitely knew more about it. I think I would have found it. But back then I was green, knew it could be in the library. Okay.
Here's a couple of other things. Somebody asked, what is the price before the edition? It's $2,500 plus 50 cents for a book. Just not saying how many books are going to be sold, but the last time around there was 10 or 12,000 sold. So that quite a bit coming from the author or added to the price pool. There was something else. Someone
Well,
asked.
cast, it's a book. I mean, he said there don't want to spoil it, but should be some trigger warnings. So I'm not sure how you get triggered, but I mean, it's a book. It's a graphic book. So it is about the mobsters of Los Angeles getting killed. So I think that tells everybody what you need to know. It's a whodunit. Whodunit? Who's killing the old mobsters? The mayor is the #1 suspect.
Yes. Oh, that's what I wanted to say.
3 years.
So Stephen is a donor to the UNLV library, and he has an archive there right now, and it is his past history. He has a slot machine. He has spent a lot of time in the gaming industry. I have talked to the archivist at UNLV because he also has one of the boxes that he donated was his notes on Vegas Die. I don't think any hints or clues in there, but much like going to the Cody Museum or something else on that other hunt we know about, I did talk to the archivist. It's not available now. They were willing to take pictures of the different parts of it. And I said, no, we're going to wait a bit. I think they'll be open within the next month or two. And I'm going to take a video of lots of things that we find down there. So you guys are going to go on a field trip with me. I think it'll just be fun. So there you go.
It did cut out when you explained the prize pool. You cut out again. Somebody asked in the chat. Can you explain the prize pool again?
Yeah, 2,500. Now I don't know if it's my side or you came out to me, so I don't know if it's both of our sides or
they don't want this out, everybody.
Yeah. $2,500, and Bobby D is asking about Captain Cook. You can answer that one. $2,500 plus 50 cents per book.
So I just put the author's website in the chat. It's spgrogan.com. He has a couple books. Captain Cooked was another book he did that had a treasure hunt in it as well. And that one we may see pop up again in the future. You never know. But we don't have any details on that one. We have details on Vegas Die. Vegas Die, September 15th. Yeah. Now, if anybody wants the original book, I think it would be helpful to have the original book because you can compare and see what he changed. I have 2 left. I have 2 of these left, $40. Why $40? Because it's a collector's item. You can't find them anywhere. I looked on Amazon. I looked on eBay. There are a couple on eBay that I think are for 35 or 34. I'm selling them for 40. And again, that's shipped right to your house.
Well, let me clarify for a second. Evelyn says there's 425,000 books in that library. So it's like needle in a haystack or library needle. There was, if Mike would have interpreted one of the clues right, the ISBN takes it from 425,000 down to 1 book, and he would have gotten $25,000. So this one does not seem like I've done the H. Charles Beale hunts, and it seems his hunts are you get to kind of a general half mile, and then you have to just kind of go hunting. It seems if we go by 1.0, we're not going to be hunting around. It's going to get us to a pretty precise area, but we need to confirm with Stephen. We need to grill him when he gets here and ask him all these questions. So he'll be on the show, but we want to get you guys really familiar with Vegas Die first, talk about the last solution, and then go from there.
Well, Mystic Mac, you have to understand that was 12 years ago. 12 years, a lot has changed. Economy has changed. COVID-19, things are different now than they were 12 years ago. I'd be great if the price for this one was 25,000, but it's not. It's 2,500, and I'll take 2,500 over nothing in Vegas. I'll take a treasure hunt in Las Vegas, no matter what it is, since we don't have any here currently.
Well, but wait, let's add in, let's just say it's like last time, and let's just say 10,000 books. I think there were 12, but 10,000 books at 50 cents a pop, that's going to add thousands to the prize pool. And I believe, and you guys can ask Stephen this, I think this is going to be the beginning of a possible series of these types of things. So I think it's not just like some people are giving the Michigan jeweler a little bit of a hard time saying he should have $1 million hunt rather than he's having a $4,000, $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 hunt, and he's having lots of them. I think that is kind of similar here, but you're going to have to ask Stephen. I will not let any kitty cat out of the bag.
Funny.
What's that?
He said it's not Dungeons or Dragons, so Mike won't get it. Bobby D, I don't think he's going to take online guesses. This is a boots on the treasure hunt. You have to go physically find that proxy item. But so was the last one. And Steve took people's guesses from online. And he told me that if anybody would have said the dagger is inside the Clark County Library, he would have told them yes. They still would have had to have figured out which book it's in, but he would have answered, he would have truthfully and said, yeah, nobody did that. We will get clarification from him before the book comes out if he will take any kind of online guesses. But that's something that me and Kpro were thinking of doing, is maybe me and Kpro can be your boots on the ground. If you have an idea, you have a solution, you've read the book. If you just have general questions about Las Vegas, hey, what's in that park? What's in this area? We can work that out. And of course, we're going to be doing Zooms, private Zooms for Vegas Die.
Yep. And then
Bobby
where
G, you
Cynthia
worked on it back then. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't realize you worked on it. Okay.
No, he's been highlighting me, so I didn't realize he wasn't highlighting you. Yeah, he said he submitted the library, but not this specific library. So,
Right.
anyway.
And, I could say it's in a park. Well, you have to tell them what, you know what I mean? I could say it's in a park. You got to say specifically where it is, in my opinion. But again, it's not our treasure hunt. It's Stephen Grogan. So we're just trying to get the word out to you guys. He's nice enough to allow us to sell the book, take pre-orders, and actually get the book out to you a little bit earlier. Now, I know some people might say, well, why is that fair? Why is it fair that you guys get it before Barnes and Noble, maybe? Because I'm Cowlazars and that's Kpro.
And
Come on.
and wait a minute, there's another bigger reason. He really wants us to focus more on the treasure hunt than he is a successful novelist. And I think people were really interested in his novel because he's a really good writer. But I think he wants to focus on the treasure hunt. So that's where we negotiated hard. We said then we needed a little bit of in advance, just not on Amazon or Barnes and Noble. And he's like, okay. So see what we did for you and you and you and you.
Captain Marvel, toward the end, I think people started to realize it may not be a real dagger. People were looking for a real dagger. There were people out in the desert metal detecting because the area, the locations in the book are real locations in Vegas. People were out there with metal detectors. And as you saw in the news clip I played in the very beginning, I said some people think it could be a casino chip, a postcard. Why I didn't put it together that a postcard could be in a book in the library. Postcard and bookmark are kind of close, right? Why I wasn't in the library opening every book, just going through it shelf by shelf, I don't know.
Okay, so like you say for Vegas Die, you're not, I walked by the rock last time, so you're not going to let that happen this year. I would not let you overlook that it was not a bookmark. See, we're like peanut butter and jelly, honey. We come together in perfect harmony.
Second place 2 times or even. Now it's time we win one. So let's hope we win one. Okay, are we ready to get into the book, everybody? Any more questions? New treasure hunt in Las Vegas. And who doesn't want an excuse to come to Las Vegas with as cheap as flights are right now?
And I can get rooms for like $10. It's crazy.
Don't make
on the strip.
You can't keep. You heard it here.
I said I can get. I didn't say I can get you a room
for everybody.
Well, no, you have family that comes. There's a few that no. Okay, let's move on.
And it's cool because Stephen calls his treasure hunts quest mysteries, and the people who look for his treasures are called questers. So we are questers. And if you order the book, you will be one of the first questers to get the new book. Okay.
Funny analogy. Sorry, I didn't mean peanut butter and jelly. I mean like socks and shoes. I don't know. You guys like to give me a hard time. Okay.
Carrie Galloway, always such a cheerful person. Kpro,
oh, I know that's sarcasm.
Yeah. I am betting Nevada is the state. You are right, Travis Bird. It is in Las Vegas, Nevada, not Las Vegas, New Mexico. Let's not get anybody confused. Okay. Yeah, let's jump right into the book. No, Lori James, I think your math is off there. She said 50 cents a copy, and if it sells 20,000, that's only $1,000. No, it's $10,000. Yeah. So 50 cents a book. Think about it. 100 books is going to be $50. You take half. But anyway, all right, here we go.
Wait, now we asked this question, so I want to chime in before. If someone finds the coin by getting to the general area and looking everywhere, but not fully solving it, do they still get the cash prize? I don't remember who asked that, but we said, can someone stumble upon it? And we kind of asked it a bunch of different ways. He is saying he doesn't think that is possible, and he's going to check on it from time to time. So follow him, sit in front of his house. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. This is not the Boris Ven hunt. So he doesn't think that's possible. So that's what he said. And the last one, it didn't happen. But I do have to say, I asked him, how did you know somebody wasn't going to check out that book? He checked on that to make sure that that book was available. So there you have it. So it seems like he's doing his homework. He's not brand new, never had a hunt before. You know, he is somebody that's done this before. So
I will say this is what he's told us is to get the money, you have to turn in the coin to me. To me, that means you have to physically go there and get it. You can, if you know where it is, but you can't get to it, I don't think you win. But again, I just put his website and the chat again, and he said he is going to have a page that will give all the rules for the treasure hunt. It's not up yet, but it's coming. We still have like 6 weeks or 5 weeks before this thing's released. So,
Well, like, okay, Amy Seek says, like, if Mike opened every book
yeah.
in the library and found the book and didn't fully solve it, would he have gotten the big prize? I think yes.
yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
I
So,
used the book to find it. Yeah.
so we call that in other treasure hunts called brute force. Can you brute force it at the end? And even though the originator didn't mean for you to find it that way, there's 1 or 2 hunts that they said that you can't brute force it. And by the end, which hunt was it that I was frustrated?
Map of the Dead, where he said you can't share, you can't talk. Is that one?
No, there was one at the end where the person came out with it and said, I just checked every single thing, like this one. Worked on it with my brother. I don't remember what it was, but so if somebody decides to brute force it, if they figured out absolutely it was in that library and you could have gone through 425,000 books, good on you.
Nice. Yeah. We'll see. We have no idea what the clues are going to be, but we do know what the clues were, and we're going to jump into them right now. So the first thing, for those of you who have the book, the original book, the first thing you will notice is that there are playing card suits at the end of certain chapters, right? They look like this. Yeah, right there. That is a cipher, and that is in fact Morse code. Certain suits raiders, certain suits are just at the end, and certain suits are the dash, and certain suits are the dot for Morse code. So if we look at page 28.
Well, and I want to be really clear for those of you non-code and cipher people like me, this is one of the only codes and ciphers that are in the book. The rest of it is more like the hunts that the rest of us like, other than like 4 people in chat and Mike.
Well, I missed what you said. What was that?
Oh, it's probably good. This isn't a very code and cipher base, but you're going to go over the code and cipher. So
this is the only cipher that was in the book. This is
that's
a
what
book
I was trying to say.
Clues are in the text. I got
Yeah.
you.
I just didn't want somebody to think this is one of 600 ciphers and codes. This is the one. This is what Mike hones in on because he loves those, but not everybody loves them. So I just wanted to make it clear. It's not heavy codes and ciphers. There's one, and Mike's going to go over it.
Not page 28, everybody. Chapter 28. Chapter 28 starts part 2 of the book. Okay. At the end of chapter 28, there are some playing suits. In each part of the book, the playing suits were deciphered differently.
Otherwise known as page 122 for those of us that use page numbers.
I'm looking.
What, page 122?
Yes. So at page 122, first thing is the diamonds. If you notice through part 2 of the book, there's a diamond at the beginning and end of each of these playing card suits. So that's just the beginning and end. And so, there was a question then called Dr. Liebschen, who said, since the diamonds kind of connect the chapters, it's telling you to put it all together and string a sentence. The beginning of the end of this matches the diamond on the next chapter. Don't know if that's what was in Stephen's mind, but the diamonds are at the beginning and end. The let me look here to make sure I got it right. There are never 2 clubs in a row. Therefore, a club is a separator. So right here on page 122, which is at the end of chapter 28, the spade is the dot and the heart is the dash. The club is the separator. And if you go through and do that, so basically it's spade, hearts, spade. The separator is the club, and then it's spade, spade, heart. So right there is 2 letters in Morse code. When you strung that together through all of part 2 of the book, it came up with these letters: RU, RDE, the number 2, RMBL. That's RU, ready, RDE, 2, rumble, RMBL. The phrase, are you ready to rumble? For anybody that's familiar with Las Vegas, it may sound like a famous phrase. Are you ready to rumble? Before the professional boxing matches, especially like Mike Tyson, that's something the announcer, Michael Buffer, would say.
Oh, no, he didn't do that. Are you ready? He did, are you ready to rumble?
Right.
Okay.
So, and anybody wants to go through and solve it for themselves, you can, but I'll put in the chat what it was.
And several people in the room had that in the chat before you went through it. So we have some Vegas Dyers. Yeah,
now,
that's awesome.
It's a red herring. Of course, we didn't know that back then. So the first thing I thought of was what rumbles on the Las Vegas Strip, the volcano in front of the Mirage. So I'm all over the volcano. I'm looking everywhere. I'm looking in front of the Mirage. It's a red herring. What the author meant and what he said after the treasure hunt was over is that was just an intro to the treasure hunt. Like Michael Buffer says, are you ready to rumble at the beginning of fights? This was his way of saying, are you ready to figure this out? Are you ready for the treasure hunt?
Got it.
Still a red herring. We thought we figured. So it's a definite code that you can solve, but it doesn't help you find the location.
See, I don't like that.
Treasure.
I don't like that.
Like it either, because at the time we didn't know it was a red herring.
Well, because it's an obvious one. If you have an accidental misspelling, that's one thing. That's an obvious code. If I'm going to work on codes, Stephen Grogan, then I don't want it to be a red herring. I don't like red herrings. Not good red herrings. Don't do that again, Stephen.
Do we know if the playing card suits are going to be in the new book? We do not know. He may take them out, or they may be there.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait.
I don't think
have you read through?
We're going to go over that. Yeah, I read it, but there's no playing card suits, right?
Oh.
Are you looking? Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Okay, part 3 of the book. Let's skip ahead to part 3. Part 3.
Nope. That we don't know is all we know.
Let's go to part 3. You don't want to get it wrong, guys.
I would have gone straight to the MGM Grand Garden.
GM Grand Garden. What's the rumble there? I'm not familiar with that one.
Is that where they do the fights?
Oh, yeah. And he could have been a tie into MGM Grand. Exactly. You're right. You're totally right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
I don't know. I need all you locals. All you locals. I know Rooster's local. I know a few others are local. I need you locals.
So part 3 of the book, I think I have this right, that if you use dash for spade and dot for heart, and again, the club was the separator. This one's a little bit longer. Let me put this in the chat. See if
Is this a red herring too?
This is not a red herring, although it's kind of hard to figure out, but this one was not a red herring. Look at that. This is what you get when you string them all together, part 3 of the book. Read that in the chat, Kpro, if you can.
My something weakened death to me like unwilling sleep.
My opiate weak death was to me like unwilling sleep. There's a couple missing letters in there. But does anybody know what that's from? Any poetry people? My opiate weak death was
like
to me
opiate, like drugs?
Yeah, like opiate.
Oh, okay.
So this is a poem. It's a Keats poem. It's called Seeing the Elgin Marbles. It's a line from that poem, My Opiate Weak Death. So we figured that out back then. We figured this out. We said, hey, this
was that the book?
This poem. What's that?
Was that the book that it was in?
No, it was not. It was not. But what we were supposed to get out of it is statues. The Elgin marbles are actually like statues in Greece or something, because the name of the poem is on seeing the Elgin marbles. So Keats, when he saw these statues, wrote this poem. And the tie-in here was statues. We were supposed to pay attention to statues that were out throughout the book. I know it's a little, you're like, well, how was I supposed to put that together? By itself, you couldn't, but when you took other things in the book, possibly you could have. So that was that one. And then I was like, let's see, what did I think back then? The Elgin marbles in the Caesars Forum shops, they have the statue of Bacchus and a bunch of Greek gods, and it does a show. They're the talking statues, and there's a rumble. They do a thunder thing before it, so I thought it was those statues.
Oh, and the rumble.
Now I'm all over the Caesars Forum. I mean, and I used to work second shift, so I'd get out at 1 a.m. and I'm over there walking through everything's closed, and I'm looking around like, what could be a clue? How could he have hid it in here? It was a lot of fun. It was just frustrating, as these treasure hunts are. So,
you know what I think? Now that I've done a few of these, this is the hardest part for me. Is I feel like it's a needle in the haystack, like somebody said earlier. They used that analogy, and then I found out that I've walked by several of them. Like I was within 20, 30 feet of the rock, and you were within a few feet until my daughter helped us on the boots on the ground clothing one. It's amazing where you would I walked all around Caesars. And that was wrong, but you were in front of the library. You were the closest. So, even though you get frustrated and you might be walking right by it. So anyway.
Well, here's the thing, Sam Searcher Sam says, I'm going to be doing a lot of Googling if this is how 2.0 is. I think some people, like Hooley says, shakes head. I think some people are not getting it. But remember, guys, you're not alone. We're going to be having a Zoom. We're going to be doing this together for parts of it. Now, me and Kpro are trying to find it, just like you all are. But there's a lot that we can share. It's like with the Beacon Star. We have collaborated. We have solved some of the puzzles by coming together. And if the Vegas Die 2.0 is a very difficult book to solve, we're going to come together and we're going to figure it out together. So I think that, and also because the prize is only 2,500, I think it might be easier to solve than the first one was. That's just what my own personal opinion. I don't know that to be
Well,
true.
and I think it's going to be easier for us to share ideas. When
Well,
it's 25,000, 100,000, $1 million, people were like, I'm not saying a word, and people are stealing my solves and they're filing lawsuits over that. I don't think, I mean, we're talking $2,500 plus a few thousand. That's nothing. I don't mean it in a bad way, but I think when you sit, I hear the Beacon Star group,
okay.
they're all collaborating. They're doing great. So anyway.
Well, $2,500 is, I know people are like, oh, well, it's only 2,500. 2,500 is 2,500. I would take that in a second.
Throw it on black. Oh,
I
it'll be
mean,
awesome.
I mean, it's $2,500. Anyway, and you get that awesome pieces of 8 shipwreck.
And you get 50
which is
cents
gonna
per
go right
book.
here on the bookshelf.
50
Okay,
cents per book.
now here's the part people might not like. Part two of the book had playing card suits, and we never solved it. We never you could go through, and it is Morse code, but it kind of gives you scrambled letters, and nobody was able to put it together. It ended up not mattering because that was like a mini puzzle. Stephen likes to do these mini puzzles in his book that are not tied to the prize at the end, but anybody who would have figured out the part 1 of the Morse code would have got a t-shirt. It was like a little mini puzzle for a t-shirt. So and once we realized that, and I think he came out in the middle of it and kind of said, don't worry about part 1. It's just for a t-shirt. We were like, oh, well, we're not going to focus on that. We want to focus on finding the actual dagger. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I want to say one thing. Master Murphy said, I don't know about that. People didn't share much about my hunt, and it was 2,500. Mr. Clues was out there and people were sharing a lot. The problem is yours was, I think, gone so quickly because I think Beacon Star, everybody's sharing because it's been out so long, just like the breakfast tea and bourbon riddle. I think some people will be kind of quiet at the very beginning to see if they can, grab it from somebody, but I think they'll collaborate over time. That's my caveat to it. So
wow, Captain Marvel, 7 surgeries in 6 years. I hope you're doing all right. But hey, if you're over all that, come out to Vegas and we can look for this one this summer. And wouldn't it be awesome if the Vegas Die Treasure has not been solved in January for the World Series of Fen when everybody comes out? We could all meet at a park if we think it's somewhere, and it would be fun to talk about.
Yeah.
But anyway, those are the Morse code suits. Those are the only cipher that was in the book. So now let's get into some of the other fun things that were in the book.
And I will be right back.
Okay, telephone numbers for any of you that have the book. And again, the page numbers are a little off between that reprint or second printing. When he added the page numbers got off a little bit. So that means page numbers were not used in the solution whatsoever. Doesn't matter what page is something on. He's got a couple telephone numbers. Chapter 9, the first page, and then the second page, he gives the telephone number to the actual Metro police station here in Vegas, but it's a non-existent extension. He says extension 714. And 714 was the badge number of who? Famous detective on TV. Badge number 714. Let's see if anybody knows. I didn't pick it up. I didn't know. The show's a little bit before my time, but just a little bit. Famous detective on TV, badge number 714. Joe Friday of Dragnet. Apparently that was his badge number, 714. So he's got these little slight things that you go, oh, like Easter eggs almost. You go, oh, okay. Yeah, Sergeant Friday. Exactly. Cheryl got it. Columbo. I would have thought Columbo too. Another one is one of the phone numbers in the book is the area code for Mississippi, and the phone number is 634-5789. Well, that's from an old Wilson Pickett song. If you need a little lovin', call me 702 634-5789. That's a song. Another one that he put in the book, and again, these did not relate to the finding the treasure. They were just little Easter eggs you could figure out if you wanted to. Will he do that with the new book? We don't know, but I hope so. To me, that's kind of fun stuff to figure out. Another one he put in was 702-726-5000. And he said, this is a little bit harder to grasp, but from the Glenn Miller song, Pennsylvania 6-5000. The original prefix would have been 736, but that rang to a real number. So he changed it to 726-5000. So from another song, Glenn Miller song. And I guess there's a Wilson Pickett song too with the same phone number. Let's see what we got here. Just checking the chat. Okay. Oh, and he says the main character in the book is Owen McCombs. It says he came from Mississippi, 221 221B Baker Avenue. That one I picked up right away as a fan of Sherlock Holmes. 2221 Baker Avenue or Baker Street was Sherlock Holmes' address. And he says he did that on purpose for the Sherlock Holmes fans to realize 221 Baker Avenue in Biloxi. Again, not a clue for the treasure, but just a little thing where you could figure out that was Sherlock Holmes's address. But he did say that a quester might realize that the author is using various literary tie-ins, and perhaps there might be others. So in other words, Sherlock Holmes is a book. The dagger was in a library. Okay, so he does these kind of subtle things that we're supposed to pick up on. Instead of here's a poem with 9 clues, that's not how Stephen does it, or at least didn't in this original book. There's subtle things. They start thinking of books, you think maybe the thing's in a library. Okay. And where do literary examples come from but books? Where do books come from but library, right? And then another one is, and he said this was an inside joke for questers in the acknowledgement page. The author thanks his publisher. Only a few privileged will find a friend like Harvey, but misspells a word in the same paragraph, Stewart, instead of Stewart. Does anybody know about Harvey with, who's the old actor, Stewart? James Stewart? Harvey was the invisible rabbit. I don't know. This is an old black and white movie, but I guess Harvey, there was an invisible rabbit, and that was kind of a tie into that. If you guys were involved in treasure hunt back then, maybe you would have understood it or got it. An inside joke that only a few people would know. And then there were the addresses. He used a couple addresses. 340 South Gold Avenue. The author's real address at that time was 340 Silver Avenue. So he took his own address, changed the silver to gold. He does have a big thing that says the dagger is not anywhere by my home. Do not come and search my house. Here's a red herring for you, but I like it because it's obvious. 327 Scarlet Pisces Circle, Scarlet Red Pisces Fish, red herring. Get it? So that's a non-existent, and you're muted, Kpro. That's a non-existent address. So you're still either muted or we can't hear you.
Okay, can you?
Now we can, yeah.
I'm too loud.
Kpro's got a new headset, everybody.
I do. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, so there were phone numbers you could try and figure out what they related to. There were addresses we could figure out that what was related to. There was the playing card suits, which were Morse code. But again, none of this has really helped pointing us to the library other than the Sherlock Holmes one, right? So let me see what else we can go. Where were we at? 646.
Well, this was what I was going to ask, what you think. So he has up on his website, and I have a copy of it, of the actual, what he considered the solve, and he walked through the solve. Do we want to walk through that? Do we want to wait for the new book and go through differences? And this is really a question to any of you that are interested in this one, interested in discussing it with us. Do we want to do a private Zoom for those of you that I'm definitely doing a private Zoom, but do we want to do shows on things as well? How do we want to walk through this in a systematic way that can help everyone? Because we are willing to go boots on the ground and we want to solve this quickly. What do we think?
I would say the first thing that's going to happen is we're going to get the books. We're going to mail them out the same day or the giving day, the next day. We're going to mail them out to everybody that pre-orders them from us. And then give everybody a week or two just to read. This book is what? 330 pages. Who knows how big the new book is going to be. So we're going to need a week or two to read it. And then I think we do a Zoom. We schedule a Zoom a week or two later and just give people's initial thoughts. Maybe we read the book and we're like, what were even the clues? Like, it doesn't even make any sense. Or maybe he's going to have some obvious references to clues. And we can talk about that first chapter, two of the obvious things that he changed.
Right.
Everybody.
Right. Well, and so somebody just asked, so I pre-order, I hit PayPal for $30, then email my address to your Gmail, ?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Maui Bob says, so to pre-order, I hit PayPal for $30 and then email my address to your Gmail.
Yes, exactly. Send 30. The PayPal link is in the description that is right below the video. Send $30. You email me at cowlazars@gmail.com and say, I just paid you. Hopefully your email matches the PayPal account so I know who's who. And you're going to tell me what address you want it shipped to. And as soon as we have those, which we are supposed to have right around September 1st, I will email them. I will mail them to you, not email I will mail them to you. And that's the PayPal account right there in the chat.
Well, and so
And we
Chasing
are
Indy,
pre-order. There's been a bunch that have been pre-ordered already, and the author said he will get us as many as we need. He may even sign them. I don't know yet.
so Chasing Indy says, so basically we need to scan, research, and obsess over every minute detail in the new hunt. Here is, okay, in my opinion, yes. So I want to just show you. Here's the first chapter of the first book. Here it says, Smart Plan, Bad Destiny, Cassandra Jewelry Emporium. That's the first. And we have the first book, or the first, we have the super secret information manuscript. And what do we have?
First chapter of the new book.
Smart Plan. I mean, exactly the same, but by here, it starts to have differences. There's some key differences, in my opinion. In my opinion, we know the last solve, so we start there. Then I am going to have copies of each of these, and I'm going to redline the key differences and see what words are different, see what all of that, thank you, Amy, all of that looks like by differences. That's where I'm going to start, and it is going to be minute detail. But that's going to be my process.
The books, order it from me and Kpro, you get a little bit cheaper. It's like $5 cheaper, probably more than that with the shipping.
$10 cheaper. What are you talking about? It's $34.99 on Barnes & Noble. We get them for $24.99, and we have discounted shipping and no handling.
Problem is Eric is overseas, so you can still order it from us, Eric.
Then it's $1 million. It's $1 million.
A little bit extra for the shipping. That's all.
No, it's $6,229 if you order overseas. I don't know how much it is.
Yeah, Bobby D, we will go over the first chapter. We're not going to read the whole thing, but we'll go over the differences. I see two major differences in the first chapter. Yeah, an Outcast Searcher says, I'm going to listen to my Audible version while reading the new book and kind of highlight the differences as I go. That's a good idea. Yeah. Captain Marble says, anybody want to buy the book for me? I thought you already had ordered one. I'm getting you mixed up with, there's somebody else that has Marvel in their name. You had the map. That's right. I'll give you an update on that as soon as I get one from the post.
Something happened with someone's audio. Audio went out. Mike's audio went out.
It's back now, right? Test, 1, 2. For the international folks, Eric, you can still do it. Contact me and maybe we go boots on the ground for you, something like that.
Sam's hilarious. I love it. Side note, when are you doing a Beacon Star Zoom? I have to tell you, I know that answer because every Tuesday night at 6 o'clock, I leave Mike alone because we have his stuff, my stuff, and our stuff. That is a his stuff night. He is all about Beacon Star. The only thing I will say, you guys know how to talk, and I'm saying something there. You guys go on. Usually, it's usually a 2-hour Zoom. So good for you guys. And we'll have to pick a night.
Here's something else that Stephen likes to do. He likes to do these little mini hunts.
Yep.
Last treasure hunt, at about 2 years in, I think it was a 2-year anniversary, he said because the dagger is what we were looking for. He's like, there are now daggers around town. There are red daggers and there are black daggers. He actually had somebody spray paint these daggers in different locations on the curb. The first person who found the red daggers got $100 each. Whoever found the black dagger got $500. I know in the new book he's going to do some kind of mini hunt like this because I just know that's what he likes to do. So it was a way to get $500. I unfortunately missed the dagger by one. I was in the parking lot and I didn't see that he put it up on the light. You know how there's pylons the big light comes out of? I'm looking on the ground and it was up there. Again, I came in second place. But I believe he's going to do something like that for the new book as well, which is kind of fun. So yeah, daggers everywhere, AJ. No, there's no ciphers in the first chapter, Bobby.
Not any ciphers, but he did talk about pirate era coins and rare casino chips. I think we need to do it systematically. I don't think we have time tonight. We really just wanted to go over everything. I think we need to highlight the key differences between the chapters. But when he talks about, I was just sitting at a poker table. I know this is shocking to those of you that know me. And did you notice at the Venetian, they have a lot of the specialty chips? And I know I've sat at a poker table before and somebody's like, can I switch my 5 for your 5? And I'm like, I don't understand why. And they're like, you have the one from a specialty tournament. It's not one of the generic chips. And I'm like, oh, sure. Because some people collect those. That already has me thinking when we talk about rare casino chips, are we looking for a rare casino chip somewhere?
Again, yeah. Well, we know we're looking for the coin though, but you mean for the
Right.
for the mini treasure mini hunt?
No, I'm just saying in general on
Oh,
how to solve this. Yeah.
well, this one he says this is the proxy item, so I hope there's not a switcheroo at the end. Like
Oh no, I'm saying maybe it's at a casino that has some rare chips. Maybe there's a rare chip display. I have no idea. I'm just guessing here.
right.
Glares everywhere. Sorry.
So one obvious thing is in the very first sentence, and for Bobby D, for anybody else, Cassandra Jewelry Emporium, corner of Eastern Avenue and Charleston Boulevard. He changed it to Mount Charleston Boulevard. So right there, could the coin be up on Mount Charleston? Maybe, we don't know. You need the rest of the book to figure it out. But he did change it to Mount Charleston Boulevard.
Right.
For anybody who doesn't know, it's a big ski resort area here in Vegas. And then as far as what they steal, he added gemstones, rare casino chips, and pirate era coins. Because what are we looking for but a pirate coin? So I thought that was a pretty cool thing that he added. The rest of it is pretty much the same. Like Kpro said, we will go through it line by line. We will highlight every word that is different. And on the next show we do for Vegas Die, we will tell you what those differences are. Again, there's nothing obvious in the first chapter like you guys have it first. There's other than he said Mount Charleston Boulevard. I don't see anything else that's that different. And I like the book.
Oh no, you're wrong. You don't. Wait. Okay, so maybe let's pick this apart. Do you think substantial differences, like full paragraphs, are different than certain words? Because I can tell you, there are word differences. There is quite a few word differences. You're like, those are the only ones I see.
Maybe I didn't catch them, so we will do it line by line. And next show we do on Vegas Die. Maybe next week. It depends what Forrest Fenn breaking news we have, if any. We will show you every word that's different. We will go line by line. It's the prologue in the first chapter, I think, or just the first chapter?
First chapter. I don't know if it gets. I actually didn't get all the way through it.
I think it's the first chapter. And one thing he did do is he gave us the name of the chapters, and they did not change. All the chapters are the same, everybody. Now, I haven't verified that, but he said that when he gave that to us, that all the chapters are the same. That means the general story is the same. He's just added those clues or changed the clues, and that's what we got to figure out. Somebody else said, like, so Sherlock Holmes was one tie-in to the library. In the story, they say they're going to go to the library and research something. And I think the one guy says something like, I don't want to be at the library all day searching for whatever they're looking for. And when I get to that part in the book, and right there, it's right there in black and white. And I'm like, but when you read it, you don't know that. But after the fact, you definitely know it.
Yeah, I'm looking at, there's, I'm on page 2 and on page 13 in Vegas Die. Yeah, there's differences. There's differences. So, yeah, it'll be fun. I think it looks like we got the first full chapter because I'm going to the end.
Yeah, it is the first full chapter. Yep.
Yeah. So I would say there's definitely differences. There's differences on the last page too.
Maybe on the next one we actually read it. I'm happy to read the first chapter out loud for everybody if you want.
Yeah.
And anybody who has the original book can kind of go through and see the differences for themselves. Now, Evelyn Curie says different book, same library. What would he have the unmitigated gall to hide it in the same library but in a different book? Wouldn't that be something? It's a possibility. I cannot say it for that it's not going to be in that library. Wouldn't that be
let
fun?
me ask Mike, Bobby D. Can I scan this and put it up on Thor? Do you think Stephen would be okay with that, or should we ask him?
I think we have to ask him on that one. It is copywritten, so I think we have to ask him.
Yeah,
but is there a group? There is a group on Thor for Vegas Die discussion.
Yeah.
I posted this link there to this video. There's another video we did, which was the intro, and we announced that the pieces of 8 coin was going to be the proxy item that you now get to keep. And that will be there for discussion. You know what? Somebody's drag racing over here. What I can do is maybe we do discussion on the differences of this chapter with the old chapter on Thor as well. Hintofriches.com, everybody.
That guy is so cool.
Yeah. That is loud.
Boys with their toys. Okay. That is Vegas Die in a nutshell. So that's what we have right now. It's starting to gear up. So I can tell you this is much like the AGK hunt. I think there's a group that's going to go really hard at the beginning, maybe a month, 2 months, see if they can just crack it early, maybe a few weeks. I'm going to be earmarking quite a bit of my free time. This is going to be it for me. I wish Kpro could be a little bit more a part of it. But
Kpro isn't going to read the book, but when we
Right.
tell him these are the clues we found,
I
I
agree.
think it help us problem solve that way, right?
Yeah, but I'd really like him to read the book and get him more into reading, but that's okay. Anyway.
Is something else I want to announce as soon as I can find it.
Okay, and then I want to transition. We've gone an hour. I want to transition to Force Fen and a couple of the other things that I have.
Okay, let me check this out. Check this out, everybody. We have a new Facebook group.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we have a new Facebook group because there was a group that was dedicated to the finding of Forest Fen. And basically, shout out to Brent because he came out and said, you know what, now that the Forest Fen treasure is found, why don't you guys take it over? So this is not a group, this is a page. I know some of you are already involved, are already like the page. It's called the Treasure Hunting Amusement Park on Facebook.
Well, as of today, it's called the Treasure Hunting.
As of today, we renamed it. And these are a lot of the books, a lot of the rides. Some of these are closed, but some of these are open. And right there in the middle is the new Vegas Die book. The Treasure Hunting Amusement Park on Facebook. It's a page. You go there, you give it a thumbs up, and me and Kpro will be posting various things here. We still have the Grand Adventure on Facebook, but the Treasure Hunting Amusement Park is, and we're going to be doing some Facebook Live videos, and they're going to be on that page, the Treasure Hunting Amusement Park.
Well, and we're going to get more familiar with this, but this is a little bit different because it is a page. So we're going to be putting out more lives and more like news information on there. There's 25,000 people in that group. So we are hoping to get a lot of the treasure hunting news. So I think it'll be less commentary. It's going to be more news and like relevant information for the community. This hunt just started. This ride's open, that sort of thing. But it's kind of cool. So yes, thank you to Brent that gave us the page.
Like here, I don't do anything with it anymore. So it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's very cool. And let's see, Travis just asked, how do I get on Thor? Am I allowed on Thor? Everyone, well, not everyone. Almost everyone on the planet is allowed to get on Thor. Go to hintofriches.com. You go there and you go through a registration process, and then it's a forum. If you haven't been on forum software, I find that Facebookers don't do a lot of forums. Forum people don't do a lot of Facebook, but I can help walk you through it. You do have to go through a process. You have to have a valid email. And basically the rule is don't attack anybody personally. Don't sue. Don't say you're going to kill someone. And you get to stay and you get to have a lot of fun. We have lots of sub forums. Forest Fen's forum is probably the most active. And it's a fun place to discuss all treasure hunts. Mr. Clues was up there. Master Morpheus, we didn't even get one up before it got solved. But there's that's one of the breaking news for me. I had several people, they wanted to start discussing the AGK hunt now. So I just set up the AGK hunt now. I will delete if anybody starts to try to derail because somebody's like, I already found it. And it's like, no, you didn't. So I deleted that. So you guys have shenanigans, but not too crazy shenanigans. We do contests. We do street. You can come back. There's some people that have previously not been a great fit, but everyone is a great fit. Come back to the amusement park. It's a fun place to.
Chasing Indy is teasing her treasure hunt. She says, I can't wait to release my hunt cover to you guys.
Ooh.
So let us know. New ride, everybody. It's under construction by Chasing Indy. Check out Chasing Indy.
Okay, just because I have made a little fun of Master Morpheus, you should not feel bad. I bought 3 of Jenny Kyle's hunts before I could get home from work. They were already solved. So they were solved within like an hour or two. The absolute hardest thing to do as a treasure hunt creator is make it hard enough that it's not solved so quickly, but make it not impossible. So after years and years, like Mike was, and it's never ever solved. So that's the hardest thing, and good for you. So I'll give you a little story. My son went with us to Fremont Street, and there was one of those carnival rides. We talked about the amusement park. It was a pull-up bar, and you had to hang on it for 60 seconds. Sounds so easy. Well, it wasn't anchored in. So it's basically all about your finger grip. He failed miserably. He was down in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But he got out there. He did it. Good for him.
A group of strangers. Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, there was and all the adults and the craziness of nobody could do it. But he's like, I want to try anyway. He's like, can I do it, Mom? And I'm like, yeah. And then of course, Mike's like the coach. He's like, okay, do this and do that. But he got out there and did it. Master Morpheus, you got out there and did it. That's my point. You rock. I love it. I have lots of
So
big
this
ones.
Saturday is the first of the Michigan Jewelers Treasure Hunt. This Saturday, the very first one is released. You guys know
Yeah.
about the jewelry store, $1 million. The first one for 4,200 is this Saturday.
Yeah.
What about a Zoom for that treasure hunt?
This is-
If anybody out there that has bought it, maybe if you want to do a Zoom, I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. Let us know if there's something like that. It's
Well,
not
won't we
public.
get into
Won't
trouble?
be-
I don't think we can, Mike.
But what did his guy say? He said you can
He-
collaborate, but not in a public way. He said don't put the clues on Facebook, on social media.
He said you
If
need to
it's a
purchase it.
private Zoom, he doesn't know.
Let's check with him to make sure. What he said is, I asked him if I buy it, can my boyfriend, I'm not sure if you know him, but my boyfriend's also into treasure hunting. So is my son and my daughter. And he's like, no, you don't need to buy 4 tickets. And some people did. He's like, buy one for your group. He's like, what I don't want to do is
Our
have a
group?
bunch of people. Yeah. For our group. Okay. Our family.
Our treasure hunting group of 50 people. Yeah,
Right.
I
That's
understand
what
you
he
said.
said not to do. He
Oh,
said, so like the first one, we don't have tickets for. I'm not getting disqualified. You're on your own little island, buddy.
well, all right, it's fine. But if anybody seriously wants to do a Zoom, so in other words, if the weekend goes by and nobody's found it and everybody's like, these clues don't make any sense, collaboration, everybody. Hashtag collaboration. We hope to have that guy on the show. You need to reach
Yeah,
out to
Johnny,
Thursday.
I don't know that guy. If he gets disqualified, we're not
Come
there.
on the show and I'll ask you directly and you can say no, absolutely not. And then I'll be like, okay, I won't do it. So Johnny, if you're watching, we did want you to come on the show Thursday. I guess we need to
Yeah, I haven't reached out to him. We need to reach out to him. I was going back and forth with him. I have not closed the loop.
Okay. All right. So that might be Thursday's show, but it might not be. It's up in the air right now.
Yeah, no, it's not even requested yet. So
Oh,
they have a ton going on. I don't know if they're gonna. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. What else? That's it for the Vegas Die. Again, you can pre-order the book from us for $30. PayPal link is down below. Just email me. Let me know where you want that sent. We should have the books around September 1st, and I will get them out to everybody as soon as we get them from the author right here in Las Vegas. Another Las Vegas treasure hunt is always a plus. What else we got going on, Kpro?
Okay, I saw, and I think it was announced. I think Indy announced it, and then I saw Shannon put it up on one of the Facebook pages. It looks like there is a mini marathon going on the whole amusement park. So it's not just going to be Forrest Fenn discussion. It's going to be all the things happening. I believe it's this Friday. I didn't write down the time. So Indy, I think, is in here. Indy and Odious Soul, they are doing a mini marathon. So
And is this? Or we don't know?
Friday.
Oh, Friday. This Friday. Okay, cool. Are we invited on it or?
No, they are. Well, yeah, you can come in the chat room.
Oh, okay. Is it open for everybody? You have to be invited.
So they're doing kind of like what we're doing right now. Like those two are going to be on, like us two are, and then there's going to be a chat room with people.
Oh, I thought you meant people could. It was an open Zoom or anybody could jump in.
Oh, I
12
don't know.
people, 15 people. And
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
it.
6 to
That's
11.
it.
Indy, are you having guests? Is what I think.
Yeah, I was wondering if anybody can get on that. That's all. I don't know what I'm doing Friday, but I might be available. You never know.
Oh,
All right. Well, that'll be awesome. That's Friday on Chasing Indy's channel or on the Odious Souls channel.
Good question. Indy's in the room. Indy put as much detail because the gang's all getting together, it sounds like. So yes, you guys can come on the panel. Okay, it looks like you were right. They're doing panels. I didn't even assume that. So okay.
If we have time, but reach out to us for sure. It's Friday night. We may be busy, but we may be on there with you, having fun, having drinks, talking about the treasure hunting.
Yeah. So AJ says it's for treasure hunting creators.
Oh, well, I have a grand adventure I'm working on. I guess Kpro and Kpro can be on it as well.
There is something Mike and I are working. I don't think it'll be ready by Friday. There's something big coming, but we're not even going to tease it yet. Okay. Mike, you were showing these Forrest Fenn, Douglas Preston clips. They were so great. You only did one of them. When's the next one, Mike? Because I'm sick of being teased by you, Mike.
Thursday, if we can't get Johnny from the Michigan treasure hunt, then Thursday we will show the Forrest Fenn interview. How's that sound? Is that okay?
Not the whole thing. It's the first 15, 20 minutes.
20 minutes. We'll find an appropriate place to break it. But so it'll be one of two things Thursday on the Cowlazars channel. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, The Hint of Riches. Make sure you subscribe to the Cowlazars channel. Make sure you thumbs up. Okay. Yep. So yeah, that'll be Thursday.
Okay, so let me get to Jack, perfect timing, lawsuit update. So let's move over to Forrest Fenn. So that's the Forrest Fenn clips. Let's do the updates on the 2 lawsuits. Chicago loss. No, let's start with the Arizona lawsuit because that's the latest. There was an update yesterday. So it seems that this gentleman out of Arizona actually, so the judge asked for some information and he actually responded and did what you do when a judge asks you to do something, which is remarkable because that's not what the other lawsuit did. So the Arizona lawsuit basically said, so here's how it went. He sued Arizona person and said, I'm suing in the state of Arizona for the following reasons, and I'm suing Forrest, and here's all the reasons why. Forrest's lawyer responded and said this should not happen in Arizona because of he's not a resident of Arizona, he's not this, he's not that, and kind of like this is second place, and even though he thinks that he didn't get there first, it should be thrown out because there was never a contract that if you got there second or third or fourth, you get some sort of prize. So back to now, the Arizona guy has submitted a response that said, here are all the reasons that I believe it should be Arizona. And there's some more meritable things that need to be considered, like he did put the update in of, even though it's in Wyoming and my solve isn't in Wyoming, here's some reasons why I think this should still be considered. And I need some additional time. This is how I understand it. I need some additional time. And the Arizona courts, because he actually is going through a process and not trying to violate a process, it seems that the Arizona courts did not say you're going into discovery. They just said, we will give you the time and you need to submit this sort of information. I don't understand it all, but I talked to a searcher lawyer today and they said basically he's not been thrown out of court because he's walking through the process and being responsive when the judge has asked him for what he needs.
John Miller asks, hey, has there been discussion as to what actors will play your characters in the Forrest Fenn movie? I know who should play Kpro, but it would be a younger actor. Everybody remembers Smokey and the Bandit? Sally Field from Smokey and the Bandit. It looks like Kpro. In my opinion, they have a similar feature.
She's a tiny little
young
thing.
Sally Field could
She's
play.
a tiny little
I don't know
thing,
about
but
me.
okay.
To figure that out.
We could have some fun with that. So, okay, that's the first one. So, the second one is the Chicago attorney. The Chicago attorney has submitted an additional, this was on the 23rd, an additional set of needs more time. And there is a set of 12 points. She included an email that went to Fenn's attorney that included, she has issues with Jenny Kyle taking down some of her forum posts. She has an issue with Dale because of some things he did. She has some issues with me for discussing the public documents that are out there. She has some issues with Candy. She has issues with lots of different people. And she says that since Forrest Fenn runs the hunt, that he should mandate us not to act on our own behalf, that, you know, Jenny and I and Dale and Candy need to be directed a certain way. She needs to see the Wyoming solved to see if it has enough merit for her to continue her case or not. She has some references to the Arizona. She believes there's a financial benefit, even though Forrest has said everything was donated. She goes on about a guy named Joe. I don't know if that's the guy that she went on YouTube with. I don't even understand half of her photoshopping different photos. Why is the finder afraid? It's like because of lawsuit, but so it goes on, and she says he lies 15% of the time, so she needs to depose him to understand if this is 15%. So it goes on for a while. The interesting part is it didn't make sense to me, and I'm a layman, so I talked to a couple of attorney people and their thought was it doesn't make sense either. The judge is asking for certain things, not, you know, you have an issue with someone discussing it, you know, what does Forrest Fenn have to do? You know, this is putting him and his family through quite a bit. So so at this point, she had until I think about a week ago to actually file the response. She's been very busy. It sounds like she's been on lots of YouTube channels and she's been doing lots of different things. So she has not had time to get together her response. So she's asked for additional time. I don't know if the judge is going to look lightly on, she has lots of time to sit and discuss things, but she didn't have time to respond to the judge. So she's asked for additional time. She did not put a response in as the judge requested. So at this time, both of those are pending the judge's responses now, because the deadline on the Chicago one, per the judge. Now the judge can extend time based on all of these things that, Jenny Kyle and Dale and the forums and the fanatics, and she's bringing up YouTubes, and that's something that a judge may spend a lot of time looking at. And then the Arizona one, it doesn't seem to have a lot of that one is actually just, there is an actual legal draft and responses and those sorts of things. So those are the two lawsuits. So we're kind of at the point of waiting for those judges to respond. But it's all public information. The links, they're up on Thor. They're up on all the different sites and all the different pages. So, so there you have it. That's what we have by way of lawsuits. Okay, so I do have to say there has been quite a bit of discussion about Yellowstone and if the treasure is in Yellowstone. The one thing that you can do, and some people are going to absolutely lose their mind when I say this, but it's a legal process. If the treasure was found in Yellowstone and the finder turned it in and is waiting the 60 days to get lost property back or property not claimed, you can file what's called a FOIA, a Freedom of Information Act. And that FOIA is filed and they can see if anybody has filed for that. That has been done. That has not been done by me.
Wait a minute. You never know, guys, when there is going to be breaking news. Say that again, Kpro.
So from my understanding, and I have just been reading forums and reading Facebooks and things, and if you're in here and you want to say more, you can. It is somebody that we know, we've met, and is a person that's in our chats quite a bit.
They posted it on Facebook that they did.
Yes, they did, but I'm not gonna, I'm still, yeah. A FOIA has been filed just to see if there has been someone that has filed or put the treasure chest under the someone lost and now they're waiting the 60 days. That information is not back yet. Go ahead.
What you're saying, I just want to make sure I understand it and make sure everybody in the chat understands it. If anybody turned the treasure chest into the Yellowstone National Park, the park rangers, that is public knowledge and somebody can gain that through a FOIA, a Freedom of Information Act.
It's not public knowledge. It is knowledge that you can get through the Freedom of Information Act. It is not publicly accessible information. It is information. If you file a FOIA, you can be given as your legal right in this country when it comes to
because the national parks is our taxpayer money. We should know what's going on with the national parks.
Just like the raid, just like, yeah.
Do we know when there's going to be an answer to that FOIA?
Oh, dear Lord. Somebody probably better well versed than I. It took me almost a year to go between the raid and the different aspects of the raid. That was a much bigger, different animal. So I do not. Yeah, if you guys saw it, so those of you that saw it.
Kpro Cow's Grand Adventure, you would have saw it if you were in the Grand. It was a Grand Adventure, right?
It was a Grand Adventure.
Okay. Yeah, you put it in the Grand Adventure on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Now, even if the FOIA comes back and there's nobody turned in, it still doesn't mean it wasn't in Yellowstone. It just means if it was in Yellowstone, the person did not turn it into the Rangers. That's all.
Yeah, yeah.
But if it comes out that it was turned into the park rangers,
dun, dun, dun,
for how many days? I mean, that's a whole other legal
issue. It's a 60-day process. So what typically happens? So here's the conspiracy theory. The conspiracy theory is somebody found it a few days before. Let's say June 2nd, just for June 2nd, they turned it in to the Rangers. The Rangers have it for 60 days. After 60 days, Mr. Back East, he's shy. He comes back to Yellowstone. He picks up his lost property because they have 60 days to pick up the property. Otherwise, it goes to.
And that's where the August 4th comes from. August 4th would be 60 days after June 4th. And when Forrest made the announcement on June 6th and said a couple days ago it was found, or what he actually said was a couple days I was contacted, I think. Some word like that. But that's why people think August 4th or August 6th is important, because that would be the 60 days. So maybe information will come out. And if it is, you guys know we will go live as soon as we get it to discuss. Right, Kpro?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Should I say Sally Field? All right, I'm going to show you a picture of Sally Field. You know who I'm talking about, right, Kpro?
Whatever. I know Sally Field. She did a movie back in like the 70s or 80s that was about
Look at Kpro.
unions. Huh?
I said, look at Kpro, everybody.
No, I don't think I look like Sally Fields.
That's you. Wait. Okay, actually, not Sally Field from Smoking the Bandit is what I'm thinking of. Sally Field smoking.
Oh, she's Gidget.
Right there. Look, that is Kpro. Look at Kpro right here, and then look at Sally Field. It's just she have glasses on.
Okay.
I don't look anything like Burt Reynolds, but look at that. That is Kpro. If you had your hair in that 80s part, that'd be look. Not gas. She's older there, but right there, that's you. That's funny.
Oh boy.
That's what I
Okay.
think of when I say, hey now. How about that one? Hey now. There you go. All right, everybody. Anyway.
Okay. Wow.
Where'd
How'd
that
we
go?
get here? Says, then how would they have taken the pics of F going through the chest there? Okay.
Oh,
There's
good point. Somebody's using logic out there. Go ahead, Kpro.
there is some things related to that I'm not going to go into at this time until I will say that I have spoken to a ranger. I have spoken to an attorney affiliated. There's some things that are Mandy Moore. Oh my God. Now I'm a child. You guys are killing me.
Look up Mandy Moore.
Oh my
I know
goodness.
it is. I just can't. All right, but
Okay.
let me pose a scenario to you, Kpro. And as a person who knows such things, Mandy Moore a little bit. Okay. If in fact the treasure was found in Yellowstone National Park, and if in fact the finder turned it into the park rangers and said, I'm doing my legal duty, this is Forest Fence treasure chest.
Yeah.
Would the park rangers travel to Santa Fe to verify that it is in fact Forest Fence treasure chest?
From what I
Make
understand,
arrangements and would they do something like that? Because it's $1 million. We're not talking about a lost wallet with 20 bucks in it.
right. So from what I understand, what they would do is notify Forest and say, because they would say, we know who you are. This might look a little like the picture. They know, and they would say, we need you to travel here. There has been some that believe that he took that Thursday, Friday, after he was notified, he went up, or even for one day, traveled in, looked. That's why he was looking so hard at it. He looked so hard at those because he had to authenticate this was what was put in. It was already a cleaned up box. And he then flew right back out that evening and was home by dinner with
Like he still didn't know he was gone. Hey. Oh, sorry. I keep hitting the wrong.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to hit. All right, sorry. That's interesting.
Now the question is, if he was the rightful owner, or he was the original owner, it now no longer would be lost. He should be taking it at that point. If he takes it, that's how he might have ensured that he was going to meet the finder, and all of that is because he then brought it back down and he's meeting with the shy guy and he hands it back to the shy guy.
Wouldn't it be interesting if the person who found the chest opened it and there was a note or something that said, turn this into the park rangers. You have to. Do not leave the park with it or you will get in trouble. Turn it in. They will contact me, and 60 days later, you'll have it. I mean, what if he set it up that way? And wouldn't that be the way he would know that the park rangers, if the person did what he said?
That is what some believe. Now, Nemo's saying Shiloh flew him to Wyoming. Mike, were you there the time that I was like, where's Shiloh, when I was visiting Forrest? And he's like, oh, look what he's doing. And he was flying a plane down to like
I don't think I was there for that one.
Okay, it might have been
the pilot, so it's very plausible Shiloh could have flew him.
Shiloh could have flown him in, flown him out. It would have been. So that's what some are believing, and some are,
So
I don't know.
let me ask you this, since we're talking conspiracy theories, if the park has it and Forrest Fenn confirmed it, why would the park not go public and say it? Why would they not?
Oh, they can't. There's an open investigation at that point. That it is under. So, okay, the only reason I know this, I used to work for a hotel chain. This is 20 years ago. I found a diamond, a very expensive diamond bracelet. And it was in the hotel lobby. It was on the ground. It was somebody's bracelet that fell off. I actually still have it, Mike. I'll show it to you. I took it to security and they're like, this is real. It had like all the diamonds all the way around. And I'm like, yeah. And I said, I need to turn it in. And they're like, they looked at me and they're like, nobody turns in something like this. I'm like, no, I'm an employee here. I have to turn it in. And they're like, we have to keep it for 30 days. They could not tell anybody. The head of security came to me and said, we can't tell anybody right now, because then somebody's going to say, oh, I have this, or I can claim that. And I didn't know that nobody was supposed to know. Of course, I told some people. It became this anyway.
But don't you have to, if, and this is just in general, if I turn something into lost and found, doesn't the person who claims ownership have to prove it? You can't just say, oh yeah, that's mine. If you can't prove it, you don't get it. Is that
right? It would be really hard for Forrest Fenn to prove that he owned that treasure chest and all the items in it, because
I'm
no
talking
one knows
about
Forrest.
tennis bracelet. Talk about your tennis.
Oh,
bracelet.
yes.
Unless somebody had a picture of it on their arm or something, you can't just say, oh, that's mine. Give it to me. Okay.
Exactly. And that's the reason for somebody to know to go to the Marriott, ask for a specific item, to be able to say there was that many. I don't know what the process was. After 30 days or 45 days or something, they came to us and said, this is crazy. You get to keep it. And I was like, oh, I have a new diamond. I'd never owned a diamond by that time. I think I was 19. It was very cool.
So if in fact the park ranger service, whoever the head park ranger is, has that chest, they would not say anything, is in your opinion?
I believe they are not legally able to.
Because, you know, if anybody wants everybody to stop searching Yellowstone, it's the park rangers. So you'd think they want to say.
But most people have stopped searching. Yeah, if you're still searching Yellowstone,
yeah,
seeing a ranger say it isn't good. I mean, we've seen Forrest say it.
Redneck Express says somebody would have leaked something. There's no way to keep that a secret. Somebody would say something to someone, and it would get out.
Let's say I wholeheartedly agree with you, Redneck. But it still stands. I believe this is I won't say plausible. I believe some things have gotten out.
So if that's the case, we believe the 60 days might be up August 6th, and maybe we'll hear more by August 6th.
Oh my God. If anybody says August 4th again, I get a spit. No.
I'm just saying, after the 60 days is up, maybe the finder is like, oh, I got it. I do.
No, if it's based on that, and that's what the Facebook person was saying, and he's a very, very smart guy. That's what he was saying, is we're all holding our breath to that time. But it's not the August 4th crazy guy on Dales. No.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying in our conspiracy theory thought discussion, that's all.
Yes.
But the finder is like, I don't have it yet, so I'm not saying anything. I'm waiting till I physically get it back from the Park Service, or Forrest gives it to me, however that works. That would be interesting. But
Holly, you can answer that. What do you mean, Holly?
We don't name names on this show. Well, sometimes we do. Secrets can be kept. Look at what the finder's doing. I couldn't keep that a secret. But that would explain maybe why.
No, but this is the thing. There is more information here that's I'm not willing to share, since it's not mine to share.
Okay. It'll come out at the right time when it's supposed to. I guess that's all we can say. But as you guys know, or as you guys see, Kpro will talk around things.
Right. Well, and to be fair, Indy and I talked around it, and we were both trying to be respectful to the things that we knew, but not. It was just it's a hard conversation to have when a leaker suspect. Yeah, like I actually think in all likelihood it probably won't be it, but what if that's what we're waiting for? And everybody that's like villainizing Forrest, it's just like, let's wait it out it has to wait out for 60 days, and then the Forrest is
Rooster Dogburn with the $5 super chat. This is for Mike to get up and kiss Kpro. What do you think, Kpro? That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because wouldn't that be odd? Okay. So they teased it all night the other night, Bobby D. I didn't mean to, Mike. That's totally up to you.
Tease what? What?
Oh, you weren't there. I didn't beg. I just said this is. We can debate it here. Indy has interpreted something differently than I have, and I'm not saying she's wrong. I'm just saying there's a different interpretation. I did decide that I thought it would be okay after a couple of drinks and in the middle of a live chat that Indy and I could discuss it, but that didn't. Okay, guys, stop. You're gonna make me blush. Okay. So anyway, debate. Yes, we could have debated, and actually Indy's super smart. So I would love to debate it. So you guys are killing me. Okay. So I think we will one day. And actually after 60 days, we will know, Indy, and then we can So okay, there we have it. There it is. I will say I also think that there are, I've been able to confirm in many different ways. I think that we still have some searchers getting into trouble. And so don't dig anywhere. Don't break into anywhere. The treasure chest is gone, guys. So stop it, please. I think those sorts of things will also come out as
So,
well. What will Mike do for $10?
yeah, no, that was it, everybody. Susie T says if Forrest flew in to verify and it was his chest, why wouldn't he just say thanks for my chest and give it back to the finder? Even if he says if they verify it's his, there could be legal issues. Did he put it there? I don't know. I mean, there's lots of things happening there, right?
There is a plausible explanation that you should ask Indy about.
Oh, really? But we can't.
There
Talk
is a there is a reason. There is a reason,
Oh,
and
okay.
it makes sense.
Reasons that we are not aware of, but maybe someday, maybe
It
Forrest
makes
is just
sense.
waiting for the right time, everybody, to let
Yeah,
us know.
that's all he's asked for is a little bit of time, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's it. Is there anything else, Kpro? We will be back live Thursday, guys, in 3 days on the Cowlazars channel. What else?
Did you want to say a little something to Czar?
Oh, I did. Czar, thank you very much. He sent me and the boys and the girls a drone for my 50th birthday. It came a little late, but it's a little drone. I haven't powered it up yet, but we're definitely going to take it out to the park. So thanks for the drone, Czar. I appreciate everybody who sent something for my birthday and sent some stuff. There's something that's supposed to be at the mailbox in a couple days. So thank you to everybody that sent something. If anybody wants to send anything to me and Kpro, the UPS box is down in the address. The PayPal is down there if anybody wants to order Vegas Die 2.0. And I think that's all I got. Thanks.
Yeah, there's two more things.
Okay, go ahead.
One thing, somebody emailed me, and rather than me typing it out 50 times, they said I would do it at the very end of the show. They said, what the heck is with you and frogs? And why are people sending you frogs? And why did you want a frog? So here's the story with a frog. My mom had a frog collection. It's a weird, she had jades, she had stones, she had ceramic things. I used to make her frogs in art class and all of that. I never was really into frogs, and then she passed. Actually, 10 years ago, she passed 10 years ago, and I inherited her frog collection. And so there's little frogs everywhere in my life. And I started joking around about I would search partner up with people and say, all I want is one of the frogs in the treasure chest. And so it was really funny because I never let anybody get me frogs. And then I got a very special frog last Valentine's Day from this guy I started dating, the first guy since I was single.
A little aside, what did Burt Reynolds and Smokey the Bandit called Sally Field? What was the nickname? Frog, because she jumps around a lot. Boom.
Are you kidding?
I am not kidding. That is absolutely true.
Okay. Well, so that is why frogs are near and dear to me. And so now, after Mike gave me a frog, several people asked me, can I send you a frog? And I said, yes. So now I get little frogs everywhere. And that's just my thing now. So it just happened, and there it is. And there you have it. Okay. One last thing. Some people wanted to talk about the H hunts. H just posted on the Kpro and Cowlazars page that he's getting ready to open up it's either GoFundMe or what's the other one? It's what the fundraiser page for the big one, the Gallows Harbor. So you need to register on his forum, and his forum is like back up and running. And so if you want to be a part of that, that's who will get the information on how to get the book. He needs to sell so many. I haven't looked into any more of the details. Maybe on Friday, I'm hoping, I would think definitely if Candy and Shannon are having originators, I'm assuming H is going to be there. And so it sounds like it's coming, guys, and it's coming quick. So definitely get on the forum. So Kpro is taken, because actually you need to have 4 letters. I think I'm Kpro 73. I don't remember. Kickstarter. That's it. Thank you, Indy. And the other one is AGK. AGK just got another huge cash from their super secret and wonderful donor. So know that hunt is very close. Shelly, it's kind of fun because if you guys know Toby is kind of the serious one, and Shelly's always been like the princess, kind of the lighthearted one. Treasure Hunt Princess, she is like nose to the grindstone, and Toby tries to like sneak in a hint here and there. And he's been doing really really, really great in timing aspect. So they are on track as well. He needs to have 3,000 people sign up on Kickstarter.
That's a lot of people.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't realize that number was so high. Okay. Well, so Gallows Harbor won't be out for a couple of years. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. No, it'll probably take a little bit, even though things are starting to take off. Another, a pawn shop or another jewelry shop has come out in Michigan, and they're going to start doing hunts because they saw what Johnny did. There's somebody in California doing the same thing. I just started reading about it just before we came in. I will try to get that information together for you guys too. So these hunts are popping up. The amusement park is expanding.
And I will say this: didn't Toby post that anybody that donates to their GoFundMe is in a drawing for a gold coin?
That's what I heard.
So you guys check out AGK and ask him. But that's what I saw: is anybody who donates $2 or more or $1 or more, you're in a drawing for a gold coin. I don't know if you have any info other than that. So, but that's kind of cool. You know, if you just want to donate $1 to be in a drawing, that's kind of fun.
Well, and we met up with Sam and crew on Wednesday, and then we met up with. We actually did a family night on Saturday. I've not been in AGK chat for over a week, and Wednesday we're meeting with another group of searchers coming into town.
Shout out to JC and Sam. It was good seeing you guys. And Melissa, we hope to see you Wednesday. I haven't heard from you yet.
Yeah. So I'm not going to be in AGK chat. We're going to do our committed chats. I will be back to AGK chat. Somebody asked me, are you having issues with Toby? No issues. He can be wrong, and that's okay. Haha, just kidding, Search Dad. Anyway, there you have it. Yeah, Indies probably should have started with 500, so it'll be a little while. But here's the other thing. Is that 3,000 total? It sounds like he's going to have at least 2 or 3 books, but at least the 2. Is that 3,000 for both books combined, or is it individual books? Anyway, Chasing Indy will get the information out, I am sure. So, or H will, or whoever it will, they'll get the information out. And that's the last thing I want to say. Johnny is the jewelry store owner in Michigan. I think he's learning from his own success. He got on Fox News and a few others, and he's taken off really quick. They have had some bumps along the way. They are communicating really well. They are doing right by people that I have seen some bumps in the road, like how many tickets do you buy? He took refunds. He opened the site back up. He's had a few things happen. I just want to give a shout out to him. I don't know him. I went back and forth on Facebook Messenger with him a little bit. He seems to really be doing as best he can with the success that he's in. So good on you.
This is his website, johnnystreasurequest.com. And what do we always say? Support people who do treasure chests. Now, this, if you live in Michigan, you know, I grew up in Michigan. I wish I was back. Maybe we should take a week vacation. I wish I was back there for one of these. It's really a cool idea. You guys can read up all about it right here. So there's a new one on October 3rd, and this is going to be $7,000. So he's doing all the different counties of Michigan is what it sounds like. Yeah, $59 is what that's going to cost. So yeah, well, again, we're just putting the info out. You guys make your own decision. JohnnyTreasureQuest.com.
Yep. Low-key says, is the meetup at the picnic area by the bridge? Couldn't find the picnic area or the pavilion by the bridge. I will get you in touch, or I'll have Cynthia is back in town. Maybe she'll come on next Monday's show. She should be all moved into her home by then. She is here in Vegas now. She lives within 2 miles of Mike's place.
Isn't that something? There's gonna be some parties over here. Searcher meetup at Cynthia's house.
We are going to do a searcher meetup. I don't know how we will, but we will. I will find out from her or Sunshine. We're doing the contest portion, but I know when she was in Wyoming, she went back by West Yellowstone. She met with Jeff from Pete's Pizza. So yes, she will have updates.
Mr. Clue says, I've been studying everything Michigan the last week. So I'm assuming, Mr. Clue, you were right there in Indiana because that's where your treasure was. And yeah, Michigan's right there. So it would really be awesome if somebody that watches the vlog finds one of Johnny's treasures. And if you do, come on the show and let's talk about it. Let's go through.
Yeah, we're a part of the 4th. We got tickets for the 4th one. So we'll be doing the 4th one.
Macomb County one. I know Macomb County very well. Like the Brian P is the one that solved Master Morpheus. Mr. Clue said the person who found his gold wanted to be anonymous, which is okay. But yeah, anybody who finds these things, come on the show and let's talk about it.
Okay, two things. This is just the fun part of the night. Indy says, I got no invite. Here's what happened yesterday, and I'm going to do a shout out to my wonderful Mr. Wonderful. I had a little bit of an argument with my daughter. At that same like 10 minutes, Cynthia emailed me and said, I just rolled into town and I'm getting a margarita. And I turned to Mike and I said, Mike, is it okay if I go and have a drink with Cynthia? And he goes, Yellowstone's coming on. You go right ahead. And I headed out. It was impromptu. It just happened out of nowhere. She doesn't irritate him like she irritates me. And so all worked out well, but I did have maybe a margarita and maybe there were some search stories. Oh my gosh, you guys have to hear some great
You
stories.
fly on the wall when Kpro and Cynthia get
Oh, and it was bad because we have not,
it was bad.
well, we have not like eye to eye met. We've done a lot of phone calls and all that. Oh, we told some stories. We had some searcher stories that will never see the light of day. And Tony Hinman, Opal headed your way. Oh my gosh, that makes my heart happy. Oh, I don't have I wear your that you gave me every day. And
I
so
have the
Opal,
necklaces, Tony. You sent the 12. We have them for the meetup. We just hope.
yeah.
You want to talk about the meetup and Labor Day? Or is there any-
Yeah, so Labor Day, there's going to be a meetup that Friday. Saturday is the main event. The main event is going to be outside at a picnic. Jeff from Pete's Pizza is going to provide the pizzas to an open area. Things are rocking there, and so they can't get us inside with social distancing and all that. There'll be something that, and then we'll go out drinking and having fun that night. And then Sunday morning, there's going to be some sort of breakfast. I'm going to miss that. I can tell you breakfast, as long as it's breakfast at noon, I could do it. But other than that, yeah, I'm not going to say what I talked to Cynthia about. But if you want to meet Cynthia, that is the place to be. She's going to be telling stories and having a great time. I believe Dale is in. Toby and Shelly are not, because of their book launch and all of that that's happening. They are not going to be able to be there. I can tell you, because the Wyoming state was announced, we've had a ton of interest, which we already had over, I think it was around 100 RSVP'd. We have well over that now. Everything's sold out, guys. So you need to get your hotels now if you're going to get your hotels. Mike and I are still trying to figure out, all the kids are back in school and we're having to homeschool and all of that. So that's going to be, we're going to definitely try to commit to be there, but how it's going to be with kids and all that, we do not know what that looks like yet.
Breaking news, everybody. Technically, it's not a treasure hunt, but I like it anyway. Bitcoin suddenly surged to $12,000 a Bitcoin. Like 2 months ago, it was $7,000 a Bitcoin. Why it surged, I don't know.
How is that breaking? No, when you hit that button, that means Forrest Fenn put out the WWWH's water. You don't hit that button for Bitcoin. What's wrong with you?
The Bitcoin shot up 20% over the last 7 days. So, and I have a little bit of Bitcoin on Coinbase. I don't know what my login is or anything. I can get back on that. The other thing is silver and gold has shot up. They're saying gold may hit $2,000 an ounce in the next week or two. Silver and gold have both shot up. So the hunt for history, 12 pounds of silver. That's huge. Get that silver, sit on it for a year, 10 years. I mean,
well, and the new one that's out of Michigan, it's a jewelry store. It's like a bar of silver and a coin of gold. I mean, it's the same sort of thing.
Yeah, precious metals would be cool. Just as long as you don't need the money to find it and keep it for 10 years, give it to your kids, 20 years. That would just be awesome to see if it shoots up.
Well, and right now, I don't know if you know, like most places, they don't have coins right now. The businesses aren't getting coins. Yeah. So anyway, okay, that is also, we went over to, let me double check all this. We went over the fabulous lawsuits. We went over Bio, we went over Zara, we went over Preston's picture, Michigan Hunt. Okay, I think that's all we have. And so we went a little over tonight. We're sorry, we were excited. Today is Monday. Oh, we made it through on Monday. So I won't see you on Wednesday, but make sure to tag up. AGK is just getting ready to launch. It's going to be super exciting. Thursday, we will be on either with Johnny, which that means we need to reach out to Johnny, or a Forrest Fenn, the first 20 minutes of his clips. And I think there's some things he said that, looking back, I should have known it was going to be solved.
We missed one. There is another ride in the Treasure Hunting Amusement Park. Chasing Indy points out, did we mention Beth's new hunt? We did not. I'm not really familiar with how it's going to work, but I know it is on Facebook, right? Beth's new hunt. She did post it somewhere on Facebook. I ain't trying to see if I can bring it up, but yeah, you guys know Genetic Blend, and it's the art of hidden messages. So if you just look at the art of hidden messages on Facebook, you will see what her new hunt is all about. I know it's for free, and I do not know what the prize is, so you guys can check it out. That is another ride in the Treasure Hunting Amusement Park. That's true.
There you have it. Great show
Okay,
tonight,
Pioneer
JK.
says, great show. Hey, thanks.
Thank you. Right back.
Yeah, right, Amy. It goes up because there's an issue, but I will see. Okay. Do you guys have a Discord? I'm on Discord, but we don't have one for this show.
See, I don't even know what that means. So no.
It's audio. It's actually a video nowadays, but it's a channel. It's a room where people could talk. It's like a chat room, but real. It's an idea. I could start up a Discord channel for you crazy treasure hunters. Hooli says, don't reach out to Johnny. Why is that?
But she says, I love interview. Maybe she doesn't want anybody else to know. I don't know.
Try a little reverse psychology. So if she says don't, maybe you will. I don't know.
Well, I already have. And he's actually been really responsive and nice. And I know they're going through so much. So, so much. I mean, they are victims of their own success. And I just know that they're holding true. And they get on. And sometimes say, we know we're backlogged. We're just a family trying to do it ourselves. Thanks, guys. I mean, I just right now, not knowing a lot about them, they seem to be doing it right. They communicate. When they mess up and say, well, this wasn't clear, but guys, we'll buy them back. We'll refund. And they just seem to really communicate well. So good on them.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We will be back Thursday. And Treasure Hunting Amusement Park. Let's take it out.
Oh, I know what Holly was saying. She loves clips. If we said, if Johnny, okay. I get it now. Okay, I'm a little slow.
Force Fed clip on Thursday if we don't have Johnny on. Here we go.
It's open when it's light, it's open when it's dark. It's the Treasure Hunt Amusement Park. Masquerade and Forest Fen are closed, but there are plenty more rides than just those. There's Beacon Star and Treasure Man, Vegas Die and Oak Island. Give them a try and you'll be smiling. This place never closes, that's for certain. There's always a reason to keep searching. Boots on the ground, look, look, look. Your ticket to the ride is the book. The dream of the treasure is the hook. The dream of the treasure is the hook. Keep searching forever, start searching now. Grand adventures with Kpro and Cow. The secret, a gypsy's kiss, the whistle pig. Come watch our show, win a prize, little or big. This place never closes, that's for certain. There's always a reason to keep searching. Boots on the ground, look, look, look. Your ticket to the ride is the book. The dream of the treasure is the hook. The dream of the treasure is the hook.
The dream of the treasure is the hook. All right, we'll see everybody Thursday.
Night all.